Hello all, Scott Adkins here. You're watching Talk and Review. Please enjoy this Yuri Boyka Undisputed Special Edition. I know I'm going to, and if any of you think about hitting that dislike button, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to fucking destroy you. Enjoy.
Yuri Boyka. How has this character got so popular? This is a character that's never been a theatrical character. It's always been straight to DVD. This character managed to garner a full franchise, which is now a trilogy. The Yuri Boyka Facebook page has 5.6 million likes. So how has this character become so popular? Let's find out some of the reasons why.
Yuri Boyka, Johnny Russia, First Degree Murder.
Any memorable character needs to have a memorable quote. For example, like this one.
I'll be back.
Or like this one. Let's see some of Boyka's memorable quotes.
I am pussy? I am pussy, look at your face! You're a fucking pussy.
Stay the fuck down.
I think you should fucking hang yourself.
Stop asking so many fucking questions.
Don't you shut the fuck up already. Fucking Americans. Don't talk too much.
He's a champion of the toilets. If I'm champion of the toilets, what does that make you when I kick the fucking shit out of you?
I'm the most complete fighter in the world.
My favorite quote in the Undisputed movies is at the end of Undisputed 3, where the American fighter Turbo is talking to Boyka, and Turbo is saying, "In my country, ain't shit for free." And Boyka tells him, "In my country, everything was free, but it was all shit." I think it's a great social commentary. I love it.
Hi guys, my favorite quote from the Undisputed trilogy is I am the most complete fighter in the world.
Hey guys, this is Mike Fury, author of Life of Action, which of course features Mr. Scott Adkins as Yuri Boyka on the cover. Now, the Undisputed franchise is a great series of films. I'm a fan of all those movies for different reasons, but my personal favourite would have to be Undisputed 2, because the action's great in all the films, but I'm such a fan of the story, and I think the film's got great chemistry between the two leads, played of course by Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White. And in terms of a favourite quote, it's tricky, there are so many good ones, but I'm going to go with, "Why did you stop me? You think I'm afraid of that fucking oaf?" And I love that he calls him an oaf, and I love it that Adkins was the bad guy in that film. Boyka is the villain, and that's very cool. Bring on Undisputed 5.
Being able to fight as a character is super important, and we all know that Boyka can brawl with the best of them. Let's have a look at a few clips.
I'm the most complete fighter in the world. It's me, Yuri Ansa. So, I'm a big fan of the Undisputed franchise. Big fan of Scott. Good friend of Scott. Favorite fight scene. There's so many standout moments, but Scott's fight against Latif is phenomenal. The sheer athleticism of it and timing of it. I also really like an Undisputed 2, Scott versus multiple guys in the ring in his training, where Michael Jai White is watching on. That's a really sweet continuous section with the big X out back somersault split kick on the two guys. That really made an impact when I saw that, and still does. Very impressive, always inspiring. Go Scott.
I
am the most complete fighter in the world.
I had to go with the classic. It's Christian Howard. Big fan of Scott's, big fan of Boyka's. Such an iconic character that Scott's brought to life. He always gets in incredible shape for that character. He puts his body on the line in the fights. And there's so many to choose from, so many favorites. I really love the fight in Undisputed 3 between him and Marco. They're doing all these crazy moves. It's got a really good build-up, like, dramatically. And that leg break at the end, I really wasn't expecting it. So when it came, I was like, oh, God, it looks so painful. But that's an iconic character, and no one can play him like Scott.
I am the most complete fighter in the world. That's got to be my favourite quote of the whole franchise of Undisputed. Big fan of Undisputed. Big fan of Scott Adkins. He is an amazing guy. Super humble and an amazing martial artist. So I can't speak highly of him enough. As for my favourite fight scene in Undisputed, I would have to go with Undisputed 3. The fight with Latif. Just really talented martial artists doing a fight scene together. You can see the speed, the energy, the flow. It's just all there for me, and I really enjoyed that. I just wish it was a little bit longer. That's my only criticism of that fight. The Mark Zaror fight, of course, will probably be most people's favourite because how long it is, the story in it as well. So it kind of does have everything. But looking from it from the perspective of just two really talented martial artists, obviously Mark Zaror is as well, but I think Latif just got that little bit more speed and energy, and it just adds that little bit extra for me. But yeah, both amazing fights, and big fan of all the fights of the series, to be honest, anyway.
Any character that's in shape is always going to motivate people. Let's take a look at some of Boyka's best training scenes.
Here's a video of Scott and Isaac talking about the meanings behind Boyka's tattoos.
As a symbol here. And that symbol was actually created by Don Werner, that basically took the idea of Masuyama's book This is Karate and kind of did his own version. And I really liked it, and I said, okay, this will be the symbol of Boyka, and that was the symbol. He had it tattooed in his chest and in his trunk.
It was done two different ways. Undisputed 2, it was stamped on, yeah, it was rolled on. And then for Undisputed 3, there was I don't know what you call it, but there was a pattern. This sticker was put on my arm, and the pattern was drawn into it. We worked it out better on the third film so that the ink didn't come off as easily, but certainly on Undisputed 2 it was a nightmare, because whenever I was grabbed or thrown or even just sweating too much, the tattoos came off constantly. And it's hard enough when you haven't got a lot of days to film a martial arts fight scene, but when the tattoos have to keep being reapplied, it was a real pain.
Fun fact. Did you know that Boyka was supposed to have a bionic leg after what happened in Undisputed 2?
One thing you probably didn't know was Boyka had 3 brothers. He had Pavel. He was the sort of good-looking brother. He didn't really talk to him that much. So you had Yuri, They had a bit of a falling out when they were a bit younger, and Boyka gave him a bit of a bitch slap and made that eye a bit blind. So yeah, they weren't on talking terms too much. And then you had Hector. Boyka doesn't like leather. I'm only joking. Yuri Boyka doesn't have any brothers that I know of. Yuri Boyka is not spelt with a Y. It's spelt with a U. Don't believe me? Check out what Scott's got to say.
Good question. David Michael O'Leary. Is it Yuri Boyka or Yuri Boyka? Well, it's the first one. Yuri. There's no Y in Yuri Boyka. I don't know where it came from. I think somebody updated IMDb with their version of how it was spelt. But they're wrong. I mean, I don't know how that name should be spelt, to be honest, but the script that I got of Undisputed 2 was spelt U-R-I. Yuri Boyka.
Honest opinion on why Yuri Boyka is so liked is probably the working man's champion. Straight to video, no major movies, nothing on cinema. And he's played by an English actor, which makes him amazing.
Okay, yeah, so Boyka basically just reminds me of Guyver. The way his kicking ability is, his punching ability, second to none.
Yuri Boyka is the most complete fighter in the world. The guy is off the chart. I mean, his incredible kicking techniques, fight sequences that Scott Adkins produces is unbelievable. I mean, it makes me proud to be a Brit, that having someone like Scott Adkins represent us on a martial arts level worldwide. You know, there's not many martial arts out there that can compare to him.
The reason I love Boyka because he's an absolute badass.
I like the character of Yuri Boyka because Boyka is the most complete fighter in the world. And nobody can put up a good fight against him. And he has some of the best action scenes I've seen in any martial arts film.
So each of these films have been plagued by piracy. And I urge all of you to make sure that you support Scott, these Undisputed films, because they deliver what we want to see, what we want as martial arts fans, and they do it on such a tight budget and minimal time that I think it's going to be very hard for these guys to keep making these films in the future. So the more that we support them, the better the films are going to get and the more frequent films that we will see. Because I'm pretty sure between Undisputed 3 and Undisputed 4, we had to wait at least 10 years. And we don't want to be waiting that long. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button down below. Drop us a comment and tell us why you love the character Yuri Boyka. What is it that makes him so popular to you? Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We got some brilliant content on the way, which I think you will enjoy. And don't forget to follow our Instagram page, because we're updating that daily. Now go and watch Undisputed 4.
I am pussy? I am pussy, look at your face! You are a fucking pussy!